Have you ever wondered how much it would cost to buy absolutely everything in GTA Online? Well, luckily for us, a gentleman by the name of Ripcord has already done the math, and if we check his spreadsheet, it turns out that you need over $1 billion to buy every single vehicle, weapon, property, business, and clothing item in the entire game. An insane amount of money, but not impossible, because billionaires do exist in GTA Online. As for the task of actually making $1 billion, it might seem like an impossible mountain to climb, a feat achievable only through extreme liberal application of your mom's credit card, or buying a mod menu. Or if you're an adult with a job, you basically have to come home after a hard day of work and log into GTA Online, where you slave away for hours to make fake internet money. That is why a lot of people simply cave in and pay Rockstar for shark cards, taking the easy way out. Either that, or they go on some shady Russian website and buy a modded account for 20 bucks and risk being banned. All of this defeats the entire purpose of playing GTA Online, or any game for that matter, where progression is made through determination and hard work. The point of making all this money isn't really to flex on other people, although that is definitely something you can do in front of your friends. Rather, it's the journey that matters, which is why in this video, I'll set up your journey to $1 billion by showing you how to make the first 250 million as fast as possible. Remember, the first step is the most important one here, and you need to buy the correct businesses, grind the correct heists, and learn the best routine so you don't waste a single second of your time. Because seconds add up to minutes, minutes add up to hours, and hours turn into days very fast. Making $250 million won't be easy, and we're not going to use any money glitches here because that's just lazy and unfun. Instead, I'll tell you how I'd do things if I was starting over as a level 1 with absolutely no money. It's a lot easier if you already have an Oppressor Mark II, a Kasatka, as well as a bunch of warehouses, but I'm assuming that you're a solo player and you don't own every single business offered in the game. As for how long this is going to take, if you follow the methods outlined in this video and spend about 4 hours a day, $250 million in a few months is more than doable, but I'm guessing a lot of you don't really have that kind of time on hand, so let's set a more attainable goal of 5 to 6 months. Half a year. No point in stressing yourself out and burning out before you even get the chance to enjoy this game. This is just optimizing strategy and your gameplay here with some focused effort. Now, before we begin, make sure to join an invite-only lobby, as that will keep you free from griefers and allow you to get acquainted with the mechanics of GTA Online as a new player. And as for the grind, the core of our efforts will be focused on a trio of heists that form the basis for our active income, but in order to keep generating money in the background, we'll also need a few sources of passive income to complement these heists. So what we're going to do first is acquire enough cash to buy these passive businesses. Early on, when you're a low level, you can do time trials, treasure hunts, races, as well as junk energy skydives to get your starter cash. But the best way that you can earn lots of money fast initially is through the Cluck and Bell farm raid. This is guaranteed to give you $500,000 every single time you play it, and after learning how the setup missions work and getting them done fast after a few playthroughs, this heist can reliably be done in 45 minutes or less. In fact, you can probably earn $1 million a day just by doing a couple of Cluck and Bell farm raids. There is a cooldown of 1 hour between these, which you can fill up with MC work if you want, although I don't really recommend that one. You can do payphone hits, security contracts, salvage yard robberies, auto shop contracts, garment factory FIB files, vehicle warehouse work. Depending on which businesses you own, the floor is yours after that. If you don't own any businesses, there is thankfully another excellent piece of content that doesn't require an initial investment, and that is the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. This can be initiated by meeting up with Ron, and he'll introduce you to Dax, who's a member of the Fooligans. Then you get to do the 6 first dose missions and 5 last dose missions, which will give you plenty of cash, as well as a Brigade 6x6, which can be used to set up an acid lab, one of the best solo moneymakers in the entire game long term. The acid lab can generate you $351,000 in one sale mission as long as you name the product, and you can do it in 3 hours. And you can even speed up production time by speed boosting the acid production, which you can do once per day. And then you sell the whole thing with just one vehicle, unlike MC businesses or special cargo sales, which ask you to drive 3 vehicles for large deliveries. The acid lab can also be called anywhere via the service vehicle section of your interaction menu, but I definitely recommend holding off on this business until you have the cash for the upgraded equipment, because that's really what's going to speed up your production here. You can unlock the upgrades and the money needed to buy them by doing the 10 Fooligan missions for Dax. These are super easy, can take you anywhere from 5 minutes maybe to 10, upwards of 15 for a really bad mission, but there is a 48-minute cooldown between each that you can do, so you better start grinding these ASAP if you want to unlock the acid lab upgrades, because you're going to need to log at least 10 hours into the game to first upgrade your acid lab with that equipment upgrade. Now, once you've got enough cash on hand from Cluck and Bell as well as the Dax missions and the acid lab, I recommend buying a few sources of other passive income to build a solid foundation for your grind. Right now, the best way to make passive money is through the nightclub, but you'll need a bunker, a few MC businesses, as well as either a special cargo warehouse or a hangar to make the most out of the warehouse sales, so go ahead and invest in those first. Many players should already have the bunker if you use the career builder in the expanded and enhanced edition of GTA 5 Online, but if you don't, I highly recommend you buy one right now. It will give you $1 million with a full bar of product, and you should also purchase a personnel quarter in the bunker so you can spawn right in and do your resupply or ammunition deliveries without having to drive to the bunker first. And while you're at it, I also want you to install a personal quarters in your hangar, agency, or any other business that supports it. It's basically a free fast travel, and you can simply swap your spawn point and load into a new invite-only session anytime you want to visit a different business. After a while, you can purchase a terabyte and install a master control terminal inside to manage all of your MC businesses, nightclub, vehicle warehouse, etc. When you get your nightclub, you will earn $50,000 every 48 minutes through your legit business if your popularity is maxed out or at least above 90% at the nightclub. And keeping it maxed is very easy if you spawn in every hour and do a bouncer mission or a VIP escort mission. Once you get the terabyte master control terminal, this won't be necessary. You can just call your terabyte and swap out DJs for an easy $10,000 to refill the popularity meter. You can even go to the nightclub yourself and log into the computer to do that. But overall, the nightclub will also generate another $50,000 an hour if you link up its warehouse to the 5 following businesses here: the CEO Special Cargo, the Bunker, Counterfeit Cash, the Coca-Cola Lockup, as well as the Math Lab. Now you can also swap out the CEO Cargo for a hangar if you own that instead, but these are the only businesses that you should link with your nightclub. And once you upgrade the storage capacity of your nightclub warehouse, it will take 20 hours for the 3 MC businesses to fill up completely, at which point you can sell your whole stock for close to $2 million. Add in the $1 million from your bunker and the cash from your Acid Lab and MC businesses during this time, and you'll easily make $12 to $15 million just from your passive income sources between each 20-hour nightclub sell mission. And again, just to reiterate here, the businesses as well as the nightclub technician assignments that you want to assign right here are cargo and shipments, sporting goods, pharmaceutical research, South American imports, as well as cash creation. Skip over organic produce as well as printing and copying at the nightclub. For the hangar, you don't have to actually do anything. Just set it as your spawn point, pay Rooster $25,000, and he'll source a crate for you on a 48-minute cooldown. Sometimes he even brings back 2 or sometimes even 3 crates in this time. Now repeat this until you have max stock, which should be around $2.3 million, then sell. If you own the new Higgins Helitours business, which was introduced with the new Money Fronts DLC for this summer in 2025, you'll earn an additional 10% on all hangar sales. Alright, with passive income sorted out, we need to look at some active income sources, and for this I highly recommend the new Hands-On Car Wash and its 2 business expansions, Smoke on the Water and Higgins Helicopter Tours. This will boost the income of your Counterfeit Cash factory as well as your grass farm by a whopping 35%. Plus, you can request car wash missions anytime, any place, simply by calling Raf on your cell phone. There's 0 cooldown, and these businesses will generate about $400,000 per hour by themselves if you grind the money laundering missions, but ideally, you want to place these in between dead zones from your other work like Heists, MC businesses, again, if you're focusing on those, contracts, etc. Anytime you have something on cooldown and don't know what to do, fill it up by calling Raf and getting a money laundering mission done from him. Plus, all 3 Money Fronts DLC businesses combined cost only $2.75 million, so there is no reason not to get these if you're grinding and playing the game long term. And then for the best source of passive income in the game, I recommend the Kasaka submarine. You know why. This is a $2.2 million purchase, but you should already have tens of millions of dollars in your bank if you've been grinding the various passive income sources we've been talking about. And the benefit of owning a Kasaka is that you get to play Cayo Perico, the single best heist in the entire game for generating money as a solo player, purely from a time efficiency standpoint. And on average, you'll make $1 million per hour. There's a 2-hour, 24-minute cooldown between each Cayo run if you're a solo player, but that turns into 48 minutes if you're a duo. That time gap can also be filled up by doing Dr. Dre's VIP contract that you can start from the agency, which used to take 1.5 hours before the cutscene skip feature was introduced, but now it can be done in just over an hour if you employ a few clever tricks. For instance, for the yacht assault mission, you can skip the whole boat driving section at the marina and just simply fly right to the ocean and right to the yacht. You don't have to actually download the GPS data from the boat or even get on the boat in the first place. You can find the super yacht visually, and once inside, disable the air defenses and use the onboard Super Velito that's parked on the helipad to make your escape once Imani has received the images from you. Another good trick is during the finale, you could speed things up by destroying the gas tank on the left-hand side of the entrance, then simply climb over it and run up the stairs to meet Johnny Guns. This way, you'll skip the entire hangar fight and save yourself a few minutes if you're a slower player. And if you have an oppressor, this whole contract shouldn't really take more than an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. And then for the final few sources of active grinding income, I recommend purchasing the Darnell Brothers Garment Factory as well as the Auto Shop and Salvage Yard. FIB files and salvage yard car robberies generate around $400,000 to $500,000 an hour. With the Salvage Yard, you can make about $1 million a week from the vehicle robberies, and the FIB files generate about $450,000 an hour, and the Auto Shop generates about $400,000 an hour, but the individual contracts typically pay between $170,000 to $185,000. However, if you do the Union Depository contract, which I recommend, you'll get $300,000 for only 20 minutes of time, and you can stack that with one of the other contracts for an easy $470,000 every single hour. Okay, now that we have a solid roster of both passive as well as active businesses, we need to come up with a grinding routine. This is a sequence of tasks that you do every single day after logging in to maximize the amount of money you make, leaving zero downtime or minimal downtime between content activities. Grinding isn't just about spamming the same content over and over and over. Sure, you could do it, but rather I think it's more about finding a way to seamlessly integrate the best money maker so that you're cycling between them and lining up the start of one cooldown with the end of another cooldown, all while not being bored with the game. So for example, let's say you own a casino. You spawn in, spin the wheel, head outside to do a stash house, which will resupply one of your businesses. Then you can call in your terabyte, check the status of your nightclub, your hangar, your warehouses, etc. through the master control terminal, call up Mutt to do an acid lab resupply, maybe call the acid lab yourself to boost the production for the day if you're just getting started, see which businesses have full stock and sell those. If you have a bunch of warehouses, fly between them and pay the techs to source crates for you. With all that daily work out of the way, the sell missions done, as well as warehouse sourcing initiated, your passive businesses are now ready to keep generating money for you in the background, which means you can now focus on the active stuff. Things like those auto shop contracts, money laundering missions, salvage yard vehicle robberies, maybe even a most wanted target at your bail office, the FIB files, the Dr. Dre contract, Cluck and Bell, Oscar Guzman, Kaio, you name it. But the easiest way to earn lots of money, since we're trying to reach that $250 million goal ASAP, is by grinding 3 heists. And those 3 heists are Cayo Perico, Dr. Dre, as well as the Cluck and Bell farm raid, in that specific order. You can even sub out Cluck and Bell for the Oscar Guzman Flies Again mission storyline, since that pays out $500,000 on normal or $750,000 on hard, and it only takes you about an hour. But overall, this guide is for solo players, and so if you're running a squad, you can sub out Cluck and Bell or Oscar Guzman for something like Diamond Casino if you prefer, and the idea here is to use our longest cooldown first. Caio has a cooldown of 2 hours and 24 minutes, so we do that first. Dr. Dre comes up next, and it shouldn't take more than 1.5 hours, even if you're a new player and playing through it really slowly. Then you can do Cluck and Bell in that next hour, and then that still leaves 25 minutes left over, which you can use to do a few security contracts for Franklin, a few money laundering operations and missions for Raph, maybe an acid lab cell, do tow truck missions for the salvage yard, you name it. Then come back, do another Cayo Perico, this time on hard mode for the increased payout, and repeat. You can mix and match content types, but a combination of Caio and Dr. Dre will generate the most amount of money for you. Don't spam them too often, or you'll probably get bored. Mix in a few auto shop contracts, those FIB files, maybe a few Mr. Favor missions every now and again just to keep things interesting, even if you aren't getting the most payout for your time. Remember, making lots of money really fast is awesome, but it's also kind of possible here to trap yourself in this monotonous grind routine that saps away all the joy out of this game. Sure, you can spam Caio 4 times a day, 2 months in a row like a no-lifer, and hit that $250 million number faster than anyone else, but in the process, you're probably going to lose your soul, and in the end, is it really going to feel like a victory? I'd argue not. But that's all I have for you guys here today. Understand that making lots of money doesn't have to be boring in this game as long as you mix and match different types of content, prioritize high efficiency activities, and yes, don't get stuck on a single routine. Come up with 3, maybe 4 different grinding routines and list them out in a document or a spreadsheet for yourself. Then cycle through each one depending on the day of the week or as you see fit. And as you do this, not only will you have fun playing GTA Online, but you'll also improve your skills as a player because you're putting yourself in different situations and facing new challenges every time. So get out there, make lots of money, have fun. I hope you hit your goal of $250 million within a few months, and who knows, maybe you can even become a billionaire by the time GTA 6 is out. That's a little goal to set for yourself if you want. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv for consistent GTA Online money farming live streams. I upload 2 YouTube shorts as well as TikToks every single day. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video tomorrow. Adios, amigos.